There you go. Hey everyone, Chris here. It's been a while, but I'm here at ToyBox. It's just me here. Been coming here the last couple of weeks and detailing cars and tightening things up and getting everything, that final tweak before we call her good. The place is about 99% complete, to be honest. All that's left is the driveway parking lot area. They have to put a top coat. But let me give you guys an official tour of the ToyBox. So if you remember, if you've watched my videos in the past, this is the first section that we purchased about a little over a year ago. 4,000 square feet. It was pretty tight here before. We had 4 lifts up against this wall facing this way. So it looked kind of like that right there. And things got to be a little bit tight as we acquired more cars and trying to use the wash bay in the wintertime. It just became a little bit too tight, so we decided to expand here. And the original owner had it to where the design of this building could be mirrored exactly on the opposite, but we wanted some more space, which is why we pushed it out to the north and south. I think it's like 25 or 30 feet on either end. But let me give you guys a walk around. So everything that you see here was basically touched during the construction process of this side. All these red beams that you see here, they were the same color. Oh yeah, right here. They were this color before. We painted them, but more importantly, we had to reinforce them. Where can you see? Probably right here. So all these beams, you see these welds, these weld joints here? We had to reinforce this in order to build up this side because the building will twist, and we get quite a bit of snow and wind here in Minnesota, and it wasn't adequate enough to allow for the proper amount of weight. Some code thing. This side we redid the ceiling. If you saw before, you could see all of the supports before. We wanted to clean it up because EFH, that's who built this side for us. They did such a good job putting this together. We wanted this side to match as much as possible. And you have different contractors, different people build differently, so it's not exactly the same, but it's much better. Here we had to keep this wall because we have these X braces, you see, just on this section. So these, I'm not really sure what they're for. Probably something to do with keeping the building from twisting. Either way, we had to have these X braces here, so we decided to, well, let's make a wall out of it. And about halfway through that, we decided to have this area be our drying bay. So once, I'll film this, if you guys care to see, you can watch it, but after I'm done washing this, I'm gonna bring it over here, park it right here where my neighbor was just parked, and I'll dry it, vacuum it, things like that. Speaking of vacuum, if you haven't seen this, check this out. I'm gonna put this right here. Hopefully you can see. So this is called Idaho's. It's a central vac system, I believe. Pull out every much more you want. I'd say I want to stop right there. Do some vacuuming. Just turn her on. So this works with the vacuum. And then you saw me pull it out of the wall, right? To suck it back in, release it, cover up one end. Cover up one end. In it goes. I think that was one of the coolest things I've seen online, so we had to get 2 of them actually. Got one over there and one right over here. We changed out, there's metal panels, kind of like this. Actually, just like this. See these metal panels inside our utility room? See, they're just cheap, they're flimsy. And because we were putting everything here anyway, we put FRP on that side. We thought we would mirror it over on this side. So this obviously in the past before. This was metal. Now it's FRP. What FRP is, it's fiberglass reinforced panel. Put it up here too. And it's very similar to what like a whiteboard would be. So it's, you can see this is solid. This can get wet. What else? Like a shower, like a liner of a shower. I think this might be that same stuff. So we decided to do FRP on the entire existing side, or old side of the building. I'm working on this area being for the kids. So I'm trying to get them, happy to come here and stuff. So I got these little light up chairs for them. Got our own TV. I plan on getting that Xbox. We'll rig that up in here, but this is what we call a little kids corner. Cool stuff. We got a shitter in here. Okay, nothing really cool about that or special. This here, big ass fan. We had this installed when we bought the place, and we had to throw in, you know, make it like the PaFur way and totally go overboard. So we had to add some to this side just to add to the cool factor. So we added 3 over here. You can see one kind of flipping around over there. Let's turn that off for now. What else? These were the cabinets that were in what now is the kids' room. If you've seen that. These cabinets we got custom made by Haley. They're a company located in Canada. We found them at Bear Jackson. I'll show you more in the snackateria. They make a really nice quality cabinets. You can see the size difference between the new and the old. I did this before, but look at my hand compared to that. Compared to this. Yeah, almost go around. Okay, so the videos I've been making the last, seems like forever, but 6 months was all the construction of this, the expansion side. So we went from 4,000 to 8,000, and before we started the construction, we're like, you know, let's see if we can go bigger. So we actually ended up making it 11,500 total square feet. We filled it up fast, as you can see. You know, to have this place just strictly be for car storage and hanging out, you know, filled up pretty quick. I'll do a car tour video sometime. I'm gonna wash them all up here. Then I'll do a car tour for you guys. But yeah, I mean, the purpose of this building is, like I said, designed for just hanging out. I mean, look at this area. I brought my foosball table from my house. Got a bunch of tables and chairs and 5 pinball machines. This is pretty unreal. Pa went ahead and got an entire Macintosh system. There's another shitter here. This is new. This is one thing that we really were missing from the old side, was a functioning laundry room. So same thing, you know, we got these Haley cabinets. Got lights in here too, a nice little sink here. But it's nice being able to, you know, wash the cars. And here's all the towels we used on that SQ8, for example. Like the architectural drawings, halfway through, I was like, you know, let's have this. I don't want to block this room off from this side, so let's put a little window here. So we decided to add that. And then we decided to bring the inside, or the stone that's on the outside, we wanted to bring on the inside to kind of tie it all together. Haley made us these custom ledges. These are pretty nice and solid. This is what we call the snackateria. Last week we had like 4 or 5 crock pots on here. It was incredible. It was insane how much food we had for so little people. It was, again, there's maybe 20 of us, but there was enough food for probably 50. So again, we have these things custom made. Put in this huge, nice, deep sink. Nothing more I hate than a sink that's only, you know, very shallow. We sourced this refrigerator. Something you see at like a convenience store, to be honest. It's unreal. We got a popcorn machine. This is one of those Turbo Chef pizza makers. It'll cook a frozen pizza in like 90 seconds. It's crazy. Look at this view. During this build process, I probably expressed my frustration a little bit with how long things were taking. It's because I just wanted to see that view. You know, I wanted it to be done. And now that it's done, it's like really still surreal. We had all of our Halloween crap over here. This is on the north side of the building. We had all our Halloween crap over here, but my dad didn't like seeing it, so we did what we didn't want to do. That was kind of the purpose for expanding this side, and we got a public storage just to kind of get it out of sight. It's whatever. It's better than cluttering this area, but right now we have Gladiator stuff. We're throwing around the idea of putting Haley over here just so things match, plus it's better quality stuff. Pa was insistent on getting the woodworking equipment over here, so he got jet equipment for everything. I think him and I are going to try to do some, you know, father-son building, maybe build like a dollhouse or something. And out the north side here, oh yeah, this thing's pretty cool. If you haven't seen one of these things, this is like a, right there, trailer valet. I was able to get this trailer, look how close to the wall that is. Just tuck it right in there. It's kind of like a little remote controlled, like a hitch driver. You know, just you hook it up and you can control it very easily. Nothing really to see out here. They gotta get that silk fence still out of here. Just keep finding stuff, throw that out. Here's our central vac system. Throw this in there. That'll get sucked up. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think. You guys who watched the process know, how much time this took, and I think I did a good job explaining what the purpose and our thought process was through the whole procedure. But yeah, what do you guys think? It's pretty cool, huh? The ToyBox, the PaFur garage ToyBox. It's something like this is really nice to have because it's like my dad and mine. It's a little hangout place, and we're passionate about cars. So okay, I'm gonna wash this thing up. I'll probably put up a little time-lapse video, and I'll pick this up when I'm done. Alright, hopefully that time lapse turned out pretty good. Probably saw me drying with this. Here, I'll show you. This stuff isn't necessarily designed for this. Is more designed for kind of like a ceramic coating where you wipe it on, you let it cure for a couple minutes, and then you buff it off. Sorry, I'm holding this camera really weird. But it's this Adams spray coating. To be honest, I'm just kind of trying to use it up. That's why I'm using it as a drying aid, like I would hydrate or top coat or last coat, whatever you want to use, because I'm want to get down to using this. So when you use this stuff as a drying aid, like what you saw me doing, you do end up wasting a lot. But again, I'm trying to go through it, not in a wasting way, because I don't know if you saw when I was washing this thing beads like no other, and I haven't done anything to it because it is clear broad. This thing is all the cars. It is clear broad, so all I'm doing is protecting and cleaning the plastic, the clear broad. So there's no polishing or anything that needs to be done to it. So all I've done is that Adams spray coating. You can see how much it was beating off. So I just wanted to point that out there. If you saw, if you pay attention to that. Yes, I'm using an excessive amount of it, but it's okay because stuff's working great. I don't need to use that much. I could probably use, honestly, 20% of what I've been using. But I don't know, this stuff makes this paint, or I should say the plastic, just sheet right off. That was just a very quick wash, very quick dry. So I'm gonna set up the GoPro again for, actually I'm not gonna record that. I'm gonna clean the inside of this thing real quick. So I was mainly focused on helping Jim wash his Audi today, and I wanted to get my daily. I think I'm gonna drive this more this winter. Call it a beater. I mean, if they can call this thing a beater, this thing's awesome. Compared to driving that expensive Cayenne back there. Some news I have for you guys today. Let me know what you think about this. So I have car payments on the beater, car payments on the Cayenne, on the Chalk 911, and on my Challenger. My mortgage is paid off, which is good, but I have a home equity loan that is pretty high thanks to those Camaros that I bought and sold, which I kind of want to build another one, maybe. But, you know, to kind of lessen or help my monthly burden, I'm thinking about trading some vehicles here. So that 992, I think I mentioned that in one of my videos, that came out, the 911 or the 992 911 Turbo S 2021. I got my name on an allocation. I'm just waiting for a good trade value on my 19 Turbo S, my C5, and my Ducati. Yeah, I'm thinking about selling the Ducati. I do this every single time. I get a bike, I put a couple hundred miles on it. I mean, this year I didn't drive it that much because we were building this, so I was driving cars a lot. But I don't know, I don't have a payment on the Ducati or the C5, and I'm thinking about just using them as, because I'm upside down on the Chalk, because that's what I traded my GT2 in on, if you guys remember that, or if you followed the channel way back then. That was a crazy amount per month. I financed the thing 100%, and it just got to be a lot, so I traded it in on a lesser value 911 Turbo, which, by the way, the 911 Turbo S is my favorite 911 of all time. It's just, I don't know, the GTs are sweet, but you get to that turbo trim, even on the Cayenne, you know, the Cayenne S is awesome, but you get to that turbo trim, it's just, everything's just that much nicer. But to help some of the negative equity I have on this when I trade it, I'm thinking about letting go of the C5 and the Ducati, because I don't drive it that much, and honestly because I don't want to drive it that much. It's one of those cars where I bought it based off nostalgic purposes. You know, it's my mom had one in about 2000, and I thought it was the most coolest. I thought it was the coolest car ever. You know, silver and black, same color scheme as this. But it's also one of those cars that I don't really want to drive. I don't want to put, you know, 10,000 miles on it, because I mean, in what, like 4 years, this thing's going to be considered a collector. Less than 4 years, 2 years, right? Something like that. Anyway, I have a feeling that the C5s are going to, you know, pop here in the next maybe decade or so, as far as being, you know, the collector value. So maybe something, you know, this thing's already 18, almost 19 years old now. It's only got 3,100 miles on it. That's pretty low. I couldn't find anything lower than that. There's a Z06 with like 500 miles, some crazy amount. But then again, am I going to drive that, or am I going to drive like a ZR1 or I'm thinking too much into it. I think it's what it comes down to, but I'm thinking about letting this guy go. Plus, I really like this Challenger. This isn't the most expensive car in this stable, but it's one of the more fun cars. I think that's one reason why I like it, because it's not so expensive. Like, I'm not gonna, I mean, I could, but like, I think it only has 600 miles on it, and I've driven it pretty aggressive. I haven't launched it yet, so stay tuned for that video. But you know, I've drifted around corners, I've done burnouts, and just little ones. But I'm not going to do that, you know, with like a $330,000 Aston Martin, or even my 911 Turbo S. But I don't know. I could just keep them. I have the Ducati right now on Craigslist for like $3,000 less than what I paid for it. I think it'll sell for that. I don't know. I got such a good deal on this 911 Turbo. So I bought it from Beverly Hills Porsche. I traded the GT2 that I bought from Porsche Minneapolis, and I wasn't treated the best on numbers, I guess. Like, I think I paid too much for it, considering that the market, I mean, maybe not, because the market just got flooded with GT cars basically like a month after I bought my 2 RS, so that kind of messed up the value. But I was able to get almost $30,000 more for the GT2 RS from Porsche Beverly Hills than I was from my local dealerships. That's why this became a reality. And I don't know if this is worth mentioning, but like my local dealership, they don't discount really. I mean, they help me with the film, which has value to me, but and they give me a little bitty discount on MSRP. But I got like $30,000 off of the MSRP on this car, maybe because it was a year old or pushing it. I mean, I got that When did I get that? I got that in April of this year. So I mean, it was at this point almost like a model year old. But I mean, 30 grand. That's something that you see on like an Aston Martin. You know, you just any Joe Schmo can go into Maury's Luxury Auto and just get 30 grand off an Aston Martin. But I didn't know that type of room was available on Porsches. So, kind of bring this around back to the 992. If I were to trade this in on a 992, I'm not going to get my money back on this. I'm not going to lose my ass like I did on the GT2. But the 992, I'd basically trade this. I'd be trading towards MSRP. I don't know if it's worth it. I think it is because I would get what I want. Not that this is a bad car. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is a bad car. It's just not my. I wouldn't choose everything on here. For example, this chalk color, it's awesome, but I like metallic flake in my car. And look at this white one. This has some metallic. It's dirty, but this has some metallic in it. All these cars that have metallic, I don't know. It just looks nice to me. But more importantly, like even small things like these. What is that? Air vent and the mirrors and like these side skirts and the front pieces. You get all that in a contrasting color. Well, just like this. Look at. Like, see how this has like a two-tone. The side skirts are black. The under mirrors are black. The intakes are black. Top of the spoiler is black. I like that two-tone. I don't want it to be just one color. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But if I had a choice, I wouldn't. Does that make sense? I wouldn't pick it to be just all one monotone color. I want that separation. So maybe, I don't know, I'm trying to talk myself into doing the trade, but it's gonna cost a lot of money. But it's not going to cost much more per month because the equity I have in the C5, the Ducati, are going to outweigh the negative equity into the 911. So I'm going to make it down. I'm going to trade 3 for 1. So I'm, save. I mean, I guess I'd save on insurance, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it worth trading this 911 Turbo S for a 992? It's 991 for a 992? Or do I just wait and not do anything? 992 Turbo S's, yeah, they're hot right now. Dealerships aren't discounting them, but who's to say that'll be the case in a year from now? When same situation like I got this. They sat on this for months. I imagine if they're willing to discount it for 30 grand. But also, what I was getting at earlier, I've got the replacement for this. I don't know if I mentioned this in a video or not. I got the replacement for this already, sort of locked and loaded. The new version of this bad boy, the H2. If you guys haven't seen, GMC has the rights to the Hummer name, so they are bringing it back in an all-electric version, similar to the Taycan. It's not going to be a hybrid. It's going to be 100% electric. It's got some crazy numbers, like 1,000 horsepower for the first edition, 850 for the next one. So pure speculation. I put my name down. It's like $100 to secure a spot, and I was too late for the first edition, but I got one of those the next level down, if you could say it's down. But in the registration, there's a box that says if one were to become available, meaning the first edition, put my name on there. So I have a feeling that a lot of people put their names on these things for the hype, kind of like the Bronco. You can see Bronco, surprisingly, maybe just the Sport. I don't know, Broncos sold out, I think, in minutes. People aren't like stepping up to the plate when it comes time to place the order. Maybe because this whole virus and the future of everyone is unknown. But so I have reason to believe that a Edition 1 H Hummer EV, I think it's what it's called, HEV, something like that. Don't quote me. I have reason to believe that one of those will become available. Yet, I'd get it about a year from now. So. That's another reason why I'm kind of considering getting down some vehicles, because I have payments on this, but I'm gonna have this paid off hopefully by this time next year when I trade in for that Hummer EV, assuming I get on that first edition list. Hopefully that all makes sense. I wasn't trying to go too fast for you guys, but yeah, I mean that's gonna be like a $110,000 vehicle. This is gonna be worth half of that at the time I take delivery, if that, So I'm gonna have to come up with a pretty substantial difference. So that's another reason why I'm considering getting down some cars. So, okay, well, I wanted to quick give you guys a tour of the place. I'll do a car tour sometime here. I've been trying again, I've been here the last couple weeks. I've been trying to get all the cars nice and clean for you guys before I do a video. But I've been focusing on like my dailies, you know, my friends, my parents. I helped my neighbor today. I've been spending so much time cleaning other cars, you know, before the winter is really upon us, that haven't been paying much attention to this, which I have all winter to do. So whatever. Do you guys like seeing these car washing videos? I mean, that one I posted, or I filmed it with a GoPro time lapse. I don't know if that was cool for you guys to see. When I started this channel, I really wanted it to be about like car detailing and maintaining them, you know, the cleanliness of the cars. But there's so many other channels out there that do such a good job, like Detail Geek and well, with Larry at NYC, and you know, they do just such a nice job cleaning cars. I don't know if I want to be that type of channel, because it's not my business to be cleaning cars. That makes sense. They do that as a business. That's their income, and like Stouffer Garage and stuff. I just geek out, just watch those videos all night. But you know, this isn't my business. My business is not detailing cars. I just like doing it as a hobby. So I thought this channel could become more along the lines of like a livelihood. You know, what it's like to own each one of these cars. I don't go to dealerships and borrow cars and review them after I've spent 10 minutes with them or anything like that. You know, I put hundreds, thousands of miles on these cars, and I can give my honest opinion. That's my idea for this, and I would have had more of those out this last summer, but I mean, these things were all over at the shit box, and we were focused on building this. So this winter I want to focus on, I think, just cleaning them, getting them all ready for next spring, because it's gonna come fast. You know, time, what's the quote? Days are long, but years are short. You know, time flies, right? You gotta enjoy these cars when you can. So before we know it, it'll be springtime, and I'll be doing launches in the Challenger. It's gonna be awesome. But that's where I plan on this channel kind of heading. Sorry I haven't posted that much. Paintball season is at an end right now. World Cup's actually going on right now. I'd be there, but the whole virus thing was unknown. Which, this is badass. I dropped down a rank this year. I've been D2 for like 3 or 4 years, and finally gonna be D3. You guys probably don't care about that. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna end this video here. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Thanks.